Having studied functions of organization, now we will study types of organizational structure. Okay. Types of organizational structure. Okay. So, what is mean by this? That now we are classifying the organization on the basis of their structure. There could be various basis of classification of organization. For example, on the basis of sector, we can say Tata Motor is an organization working in automobile sector. We can say Engineer Circle is an organization working in education sector. Okay. So, another classification could be ONGC as an organization is working in public sector, because its majority stakeholder is government, and hence for example, let us say Royal Dutch Shell, okay, or British Petroleum. So, British Petroleum is a private company. So, it is working in private sector, ONGC is working in public sector. So, there could be various basis of classification of organization. It could be sector, it could be function, but now we are concerned with basis of structure, that is we are classifying different organization on the basis of the structure. Now, first of all we should understand what is mean by structure. Okay. So, structure is nothing but the organizational chart of any organization. We have studied or we have seen that many times we say this is the chairman, or under it there is a board, then there is CEO, then under it there are various vice president or managing director, vice president of first department, vice president of second department, VP of third department, and so on. And further there are different managers, and further engineer 1, engineer 2, then subordinate employees, and so on. So, we will call this as a structure of organization, that is how many individuals are there, and each individual has what authority, what responsibility, and they are accountable to whom. Okay. Simple thing, the concepts we have studied. Now, we are saying structure is implied assigning authority, responsibility and accountability to each individual, and when we try to assign these things, automatically an organizational structure will arise. Okay. So, we will say that VP1 has particular authority and he is responsible to particular work, and he is accountable to CEO. He is accountable to board, board is accountable to chairman, or say let stakeholders of the organization. Okay. So, this is the structure. Now, we will classify organization into 3 types of structures. Some organization could be functional organization. Such organizations are also called as classical or traditional organization. Second one is called as project organization, and the third one matrix organization. Function, project, matrix. So, to understand these types of organization, we will deal them separately one by one, but before this we will take a overview, and this overview will help us to understand each one of them in a better way. Okay. since we have understood structure is implied, that is forming the organizational chart and assigning each individual authority, responsibility and accountability. Okay. Now, we will introduce two terms which have already been introduced here, and these two terms are crucial. The two terms we are seeing here is that one is function and other one is project. Okay. Now, take an example of any organization. This organization will be working in different type of project. Let us say for example L&T. L&T is a construction firm which take contracts of different type of construction projects. Okay. Now, this L&T can have for example 10 projects at a time. It could be working in Delhi constructing a multi-story building. It could be working in a remote area in Gujarat constructing a power plant. It could be working in Bangalore or Hyderabad constructing a metro project. It could be working in Assam or Mizoram constructing a flyover or a bridge and so on. Okay. So, these are several projects in which L&T is working. So, what we are saying, in each organization there are several projects at a time, one thing. And second thing, function. So, what we are saying is that, and we have already understood, organization implies group of people, and why the people come together, because they have different skill set, their activities are different, and to fulfill the objective individual cannot achieve the objective, and hence all these individuals come together. So, we will say that different skill set implies different type of function, different skill set, different activity imply different type of function. So, we will say that in L&T there are various projects, but to complete each project different types of functions are required to be performed. One function would be solely related to civil work, one will be related to electrical work, one related to mechanical work, another would be finance work, another would be marketing, another would be business development, another would be human resource management and so on. Okay. So, what we are saying, in any organization there are different functions on the basis of skills, on the basis of activity. So, there could be different peoples who are specialized in civil engineering, some people specialized in marketing, some people specialized in mechanical engineering, some people specialized in business development or finance and so on. Okay. So, we understood there are two aspects related to organization, that any organization at any time have different projects, and also in each project the organization has to perform various functions. So, having understood these two important concepts, now we will move on to the structure part. Okay. So, basically in essence there could be two type of structure. We have written three types, but in essence there could be two type of structure which I have already written. One could be functional based classification, other could be project based classification. So, what is meant by this? Again we will draw the chart we have used. There is CU and there are different verticals. Okay. So, if an organization is functional organization, function based, then what we will do? We will structure the organization such that individuals having same type of functions are grouped into one department. Okay. So, what we will say, in functional organization, all the individuals performing civil work will be in one department, all individuals performing electrical work will be in another department, all individual in human resource in another department and so on. On the other hand, if organization is project based organization, then we can now say that this L&T company will, if L&T company is a project based organization, then its structure would be different. One department will be solely related to the project occurring in Assam, one department will be related to project occurring in being implemented in Bangalore or Hyderabad of metro project. Another department will be solely responsible for the project implemented in Gujarat on power plant and so on. Okay. So, this is the crux we have to understand. If the basis of departmental formation, which is the structure, is function, that is called as function based organization, and if the basis of structuring of organization is project, then it is called as project organization. So, having understood the concept in brief, now we will deal with each type of organization one by one. Okay. The crux of the idea has been already understood. So, now what we will say, first of all we are moving towards functional organization. Now, two terms are already also written, classical and traditional. So, what it implies? It implies that classically or traditionally or conventionally or commonly organizations are classified on the basis of functions. Okay. Tradition we know, tradition implies that the thing which is going on in the past, which is used to going on in the past, which is also happening in the present. So, it is called as traditional. Okay. So, we are saying that generally, commonly, traditionally, conventionally organizations are classified on the basis of functions. Okay. For example, if you as an individual, as an assistant engineer have passed UPSC examination and now you are joining CPWD. So, obviously, if you have passed examination through civil engineering, so you specialize in civil engineering. So, in which department of CPWD you will be allotted? So, obviously, you will be allotted in civil engineering department. Another person will be who has passed through mechanical engineering will be allotted in mechanical engineering department and so on. So, we know that this is a very common sense for us, that obviously we will allotted in the department in which we are specialized. So, that is why this type of organization is called as classical or traditional. But another way could be project organization, which is the second part, and there are various organizations in which if you are a civil engineer, then you are not been allotted in civil department, but on the basis of the project you are doing. Okay. So, we will move on to that later on. So, now we understood the meaning of traditional or classical. That is, classically many organizations are classified structured on the basis of functions. Okay. So, first of all we will draw a simple organizational chart. So, what we will say, this is department 1, this is department 2, department 3, department 4. Okay. And if this is a functional organization, then all the individuals, workers working specializing in civil engineering, they will be allotted in same department. So, we will say department 1 is nothing but civil department. Okay. And this civil department will be managed by, we will say, department manager specializing in civil. So, under this, superintending engineer, executive engineer, assistant engineer, different designations, all these engineers will be specializing in single skill set, which is civil. Okay. So, you as an assistant engineer have senior, let us say executive engineer, who is also specializing in civil department, his senior superintending engineer is also specializing in civil department and so on. Okay. There could be another department which could be mechanical, and again in this all the individuals are specialized in mechanical. Similarly, there will be electrical department, same thing, and there will be finance department, HR department and so on. Okay. So, what a simple definition we can say about traditional organization is that in traditional organization, the project resources are classified on the basis of function. Okay. Again I am repeating, in traditional organization all the resources are classified on the basis of their function. So, the word we are using here is resources. Up till now I have used a single term which I was using individual. What I was saying, all the individual performing civil function are classified in one department, all the individual specializing mechanical classified in this department and so on. But the general term we will use is resources. We have already used this term but not the word. We all know that another important function of organization is organizing. We have seen 5 functions: planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, controlling. The second function was organizing, and we have said that organizing involves providing organization with all the material or all the resources required for its functioning. So, we will say that resources include workforce, that is engineers, etc. Resources include machines, resources include capital or finance, resources include, let us say, technology, etc. Okay. So, we are saying that if we are classifying all these resources on the basis of function, then the organization is called as a functional organization. So, take example in more detail. What we will say, if this is civil department and this is the department manager, then this department manager must be having authority over all these workforce. Workforce are resources, and further this department manager will be having authority over certain budget of organization. Capital or finance we have seen is also resource. Okay. So, we will say that this department manager will have authority to sanction, let us say, 500 crore worth of project. So, this 500 crore of worth of budget is solely dedicated to civil work. Okay. So, related to civil work, if we want some money, then he can sanction. Similarly, we will say this department manager will have authority over all different type of construction equipment, cranes, trucks, diggers, etc. Okay. So, crane, truck, digger, all these are resources related to civil type of function. Okay. Similarly, this department manager will have authority over different technologies. Okay. Let us say for example, this organization has purchased StatPro or ETABS, which are softwares used for designing of civil structure. So, this technology falls under this department. So, now we understood all type of resources related to single function are grouped into one department. Similarly, all type of resources related to mechanical are grouped into mechanical department. Okay. The common resource which we perceive is one thing, that is workforce, the individual, the engineers, but there are also different other sources. Okay. So, all such resources related to one function are being classified into separate departments. Okay. So, this is called as functional organization, we have understood. Now, further on we will move towards the advantages and disadvantages of functional organization. Now, the advantage of functional organization is that it can take full use of resources within the organization. Okay, I am again repeating, the advantage of functional organization is that it can take full use of resources within the organization. Simple thing. Okay. We will study the second type of organization structure, which is project based organization. So, we can say that if there is advantage of functional organization, then there could be disadvantage of project organization. And similarly, if there is one disadvantage of functional organization, there will be reciprocally an advantage of project organization. Okay. So, what I am saying, we will take with an example, we will understand with an example. I am saying that functional organization can take full use of its resources. So, for example, you are working in an organization and this organization has been classified on the basis of department. Okay. So, suppose you are here. Now, we have seen there are two important terms related with organization, one is function and another one is project. Okay. So, suppose this L&T company only, L&T company has 10 projects. Okay. We have taken the example previously, and this company L&T is structured on the basis of function. Okay. Not on the basis of project. So, what is happening? You are an assistant or executive engineer, let us say suppose assistant engineer. Okay. And you are specialized in civil engineering. So, you are in civil engineering department. Why civil engineering department? Because you work in a functional based organization. Okay. Now, further assume that you specialize in RCC work, reinforced concrete work. There could be various specialization within the civil. Okay. So, you are specialized in RCC work. Now, what will happen? This department manager or let us say any senior will tell you that for 5 days you have to design RCC for the project going on in Assam. Okay. So, we have worked for 5 days continuously for the project in Assam, and on the 6th day another project will be allotted to you and the senior will say, now for again next 10 days you will work on the project, you will design the RCC work for the power plant. So, we will continuously work on this project, and when the 10 days completed you will be again assigned to another project happening in Bangalore, let us say the metro project. So, what is happening here? You are being continuously utilized by the organization, you have no free time, because as a part of project gets completed you will be assigned another, then you will assign another project, then assign another project and so on. Okay. So, we will say that the organization which is providing you certain salary, let us say 40,000 per month. So, it is utilizing this salary fully 100% or even more than that. Okay. You are being completely utilized, you are working from 8 AM to 6 PM the working hours, and even after working hours, because you are being assigned a project and you have to complete within a fixed time deadline. Okay. So, in this we will say in terms of finance this organization will be more efficient because it is taking full use of resources. Okay. Similar thing we can say about equipments, machinery, finance, etc. Okay. Because you are individual, you are one type of resource, you are a human resource. There could be another type of resource, that is a machinery. Okay. So, what we are saying that if this is a functional organization, then this department manager will be having authority over let us say 10 cranes. Okay. Now, suppose in Assam project is going on and initially the requirement of cranes were more, say 4 crane here, and when the requirement of cranes get used up, okay, then what will happen? This department manager will immediately transfer these cranes from this project to let us say a project in Kolkata. Okay. So, we will say that the crane is not having any idle time, free time. Okay. It was continuously being used for 5 days or let us say for few months in the Assam project, and just when its utility was no more in Assam project, it is being transferred to Kolkata. Okay. So, the equipments, machineries are also being fully utilized, there is no free time for any equipment. Okay. So, you are getting my point, that is the advantage is that full use of resources is possible. So, we can say that in project based organization this could not be happening. Okay. This could be disadvantage, that the project based organization could not take full use of resources. So, how it will not be able to take, we will separately deal with it later on. Now, coming on to the disadvantage of project based organization. So, what is disadvantage? The disadvantage is that any particular project suffers or get delayed in such type of organization. Okay. What I am saying is that, again we will understood with example. This is L&T organization, it is a functional organization at the present for understanding. We have also taken the example that it is having 10 projects simultaneously. Okay. Now, this department manager is manager of civil functions. Okay. This department manager is manager of mechanical function and similar. So, what is the responsibility of these department managers? We will say that this department manager is concerned or is responsible only for the civil work in each of these 10 projects. He is not concerned with other type of function, whether it is mechanical, electrical, human resource, finance, etc. Okay. Similar thing can be said about this or this. Okay. So, in sum what we are saying is that the responsibility of completing the project is getting fragmented. Each department is concerned with only one type of function. Okay. So, we will say that actually there is no department or no body or no individual who is concerned with overall project. Okay. So, in such organization what will happen? There will be, we can say, friction between different departments. Why? Because since this is concerned with only civil part of any project. So, let us say project is going on in Assam and this department has to work on different projects also. So, this department manager has pressure to complete civil work of that project, but suppose this civil work depends on mechanical work. Okay. Now, if suppose this mechanical work is somehow getting delayed due to genuine reason, then what will happen? Then this civil department will get in friction with this, because it wants to work on other projects also. So, it does not want to delay its own work. So, if this is delaying, this will also get delayed. Okay. So, there will be dispute between this department, and what will happen? The overall project happening in Assam will suffer. Okay. Because it is concerned only with civil work. This department has no concern about whether this mechanical work is getting delayed due to genuine reasons or not. Okay. So, what will happen? That the overall project will suffer and it will get delayed. Okay. Because each department is focusing on the fragmented portion of their work. Okay. So, finally we can say that what we will say, there is advantage of this organization, it can take full use of resources, but there is also disadvantage of organization, which is overall project suffers, get delayed due to classification of functional basis of department. So, finally we will say that whether, we will ask a question, whether this type of organization is a good organization or a bad organization. That is, this type of structure, whether this type of structure is a good structure or a bad structure. Okay. So, one most important point we must note is that there is no such thing as good organizational structure or bad organizational structure. What we will say is that there is always a appropriate organizational structure or inappropriate organizational structure. So, the question before us was whether functional based organization, whether L&T having structure like this is good or not. So, we will say it will depend whether it is appropriate or not, or depend on what. So, normally functional based organization is suitable when the number of projects are minimal. Okay. And it will be best when a single project is there with organization at a time. Okay. So, when there is a single project, then we can say that the disputes between these organizations will be minimal. So, if there is a single project within functional type of organization, then it would be very easy for all these departments to coordinate with each other. Okay. This is a fact that these departments are concerned only with civil, this mechanical, this electrical and so on. But when there is single project, then this coordination would be very easy. On the other hand, if there are multiple projects in this type of organization, then what will happen? Again, these departments will be focusing on just civil work of all type of projects. This department will be focusing on mechanical work of all type of projects. So, their responsibility and their authority will be get fragmented on just single part of each project. So, overall project will get suffer. So, we will simply say that there is no good organization or bad organization, there is only appropriate or inappropriate, that is suitable or unsuitable organization. So, we will say that this type of organizational structure, that is functional organization, is suitable when the number of projects at a given time are minimal within the organization, and it would be ideal case when number of project is single one project. Okay. So, we have completely understood the functional type of organization. Now, we will move on to project based organization, the second type. So, second is project based organization. Since we have understood overall concept in brief and we have completely understood the functional based organization, then it becomes very easy for us to understand what is the structure and what are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay. So, first of all, we will say that in project based organization, all the resources are classified on the basis of project, okay, not on the basis of function, which was the case with functional based organization. So, what it implies? We will say that this is our organizational structure. Now, again there are departments, but departments are classified on the basis of project. So, we will say that this is project, let us say project A department, this is project B department, this is project C department, this is project D department. Okay. And each department will have department manager, but now the designation will be project manager. That is, in this type of organization, each department is headed by not a functional manager, but a project manager. So, project manager A, project manager B, project manager C, project manager D. Okay. Now, further on what we have said, that this type of in this type of organization, the resources are classified on the basis of project, not on the basis of function. So, it implies that, again take the example of L&T. Previously L&T was a functional based organization, now it is a project based organization. So, we can say that in this L&T organization there will be 10 departments, because we have taken the example of 10 projects. There are 10 projects, so there would be 10 departments. Now, let us say there are 4 projects, one in Assam, one in Gujarat, one in Bangalore, another one in New Delhi. Okay. So, these are the 4 projects, hence there will be 4 departments, and each project will have one project manager. Okay. So, what we will say, this project manager has absolute authority, the three word we have used, it has absolute authority on taking decisions about the project implemented in Assam. This project manager has absolute authority over the decisions to be taken in the completion of project happening in New Delhi, this one for Mumbai project, this one for Gujarat project, this one for Bangalore project. Okay. Further on, we will say that since there is authority granted to each project manager, all these project manager will be also responsible for completion of that project. Okay. Further on, the definition is that all the resources are classified on the basis of projects. So, we will say that this project manager will be assigned all the relevant resources required for completion of Assam project. Okay. So, now Assam project will involve civil type of work, mechanical type of work, electrical type of work, it will involve finance management, it will involve human resource management, it will involve business management. Okay. So, what we will say that this project manager will have civil engineers, it will have mechanical engineers, it will have electrical engineers, it will have human resource managers, it will have finance person and so on. Okay. So, now you can have a clarity regarding the type of structure. Here what is happening, all type of functions are there within a department. In previous example, in previous type of organization, that is traditional, each department was having same type of function. Now all different type of functions are there in a single department. The commonality between them is that each of these engineers are focused on single project only, that is project A. Okay. Similarly, we can say about all these things. Again we can say engineers are a type of resource, one type of resource. There are other type of resource, equipments, finance, etc. So, we will say this project manager will have authority over certain amount of capital, certain amount of finance. Okay. If the project implementation costs, let us say 500 crore, then this individual, that is project manager, will have authority over this 500 crore. He can take decisions where to use, when to use this 500 crore. Similarly, different equipments or machinery of this organization will be assigned to this project manager. So, all type of equipments will be there with him. Civil engineering type of equipment, mechanical type of equipment, electrical type of equipment, all type of equipments will be there with this project manager. Similarly, we can say about this, this and this. Okay. So, now we have understood the project based structure of organization. Okay. Now, further moving on, we will again discuss the advantages and disadvantages of this organization. What we will say, in functional organization, the advantage was that the organization can take full use of its resources. So, this will become disadvantage of project based organization. We will say that the disadvantage of project based organization is that the organization cannot take full use of its resources. Okay. We will understand it more clearly through an example. Again, you must be having some cousins, friends, relatives, seniors, juniors working in IT sector, and you must have heard a term. Suppose your friend has recently joined any IT firm and you are now interacting with him on telephone. Okay. So, this person, your friend, will say that at the present time I am on bench, that is they will say मैं तो अभी bench पे बैठा हूँ. Okay. So, what it implies that sitting on bench, this is a common term in IT sector. So, sitting on bench implies that this your friend, this individual has joined the organization, he is getting salary, but for some initial 2, 3 or 4 months he is sitting on bench, implying that even though he is taking salary, he is a part of organization, but at the present time he is not assigned any project. Okay, he is not working on any project. Okay. So, what we will say? We will say that the organization is providing him salary. Okay, the organization is having some cost on maintenance of resources, but the resources are not being utilized. The organization is providing salary to this individual, this engineer, this work resource, this human resource, but the organization is not taking any use of this human resource. Okay. So, such type of phenomena generally happens when the organization is project based organization, and now we can conclude that okay, generally IT sectors are project based organization, and we know that why, because these companies, IT sector companies, work on different projects. They have different clients, they will have hundreds of clients. So, each project are being all the human resources, all the technology, all the softwares are classified on the basis of project. So, a group of engineers are working for only one client, another group of engineers are working for another client, and so on. Okay. So, in such type of organization, a scenario could arise where a project where an individual is free, that is no work is been assigned to him. Again, moving towards our own field, that is engineering field. Okay. So, if we take an example, suppose this L&T project, and this was a project in Assam. Okay. Now, in this project civil, mechanical, electrical, all type of people are there. So, what will happen? Again, you are an engineer, a civil engineer specializing in reinforced concrete design. Okay. So, but now you are working in a project based organization. So, you are a part of a project happening in Assam. Now, what will happen? Since you specialize in reinforced concrete design, this Assam project, let us say, is a flyover project. So, you have designed the RCC work of this project, but as your work get completed, you are not being directly transferred to another project, because you are not a part of functional department. Okay. You are part of a project department. So, your project manager, your senior is project manager. So, this project manager will not transfer you to another project. Okay, because his responsibility is to properly complete the work. So, what will happen? As this flyover project is getting completed, is in progress, you will work for few days whenever RCC reinforced concrete design is required, then you will get free for few days. Again, when this project require RCC design work, you will work, and so on. So, what is happening here? You are working for few days, then you are free, then working for few days, then you are free. Because this is happening because you are solely working on a project. Okay. And any project do not require a same type of function continuously. Same type of function will be required for some days, then there will be no requirement, then there will be requirement, and so on. Okay. Similarly, we can talk about equipment also. If equipment is assigned for a particular project, then what will happen? Let us say again digging machine. So, if this in Assam project, digging work has to be performed, generally digging work comes in the initial part. So, these digging machines will dig the earth, and for few months they will be fully utilized, and after that these cranes will remain, these digging machines will remain idle. Again, after some time these machines will be used, again they will remain idle, and so on. Okay. So, why this is happening? This is happening because different resources are focusing on one project only. Okay. They are not getting continuously transferred to different projects. So, now we understood the disadvantage of this organization, which is the project resources are not fully utilized. The maintenance of resources required cost for organization, but utilization is not 100% efficient. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of this organization? We have to study. So, the advantage is very clear. Which was the disadvantage of functional organization? What was the disadvantage of functional organization? That functional organization, in functional organization, project delay can happen. Okay. There is no single individual or department focusing solely on the completion of project, but in this type of organization there is a individual, there is a particular individual named project manager whose sole responsibility is to properly complete a particular project. So, we can say that in this type of organization focus will be more on a particular project, and hence project delay will not happen, cost overrun in project will not happen. The project will be completed in within the time, within the cost, and at the desired quality level. Okay. But in functional organization quality could suffer, project could get delay, cost overrun could happen, but in this organization such things would not occur. So, this is the advantage of project based organization. Okay. So, finally, we can say that when such type of structure is suitable, we have seen there is no such thing as good or bad organization, there is only suitable or unsuitable organization. So, we can say that obviously such organizations are more suitable when there are a number of projects within the organization at a given point of time. Okay. We can take, or we can also say that these organizations are more suitable when the quality of the end product is very important. Okay. The quality of the end product of any project is very important. We can understand this with examples of electronics sector. Okay. And the common example could be mobile phones. What will happen? We will say that any company, let us say Apple or let us say Samsung. So, Samsung is producing different types of mobile phones. So, in such type of organization we can say there could be one department which is solely focused on, let us say any product, Samsung S9 Note. What is the name of any model? So, S9 is a model of mobile phone of Samsung. So, we will say that different type of specialized engineers are focusing only on a very good quality of S9 model. Another could be another organization, another department could be there in which different type of functional engineers are focusing on another product. Okay. So, we will say that when the end quality of product is very important for organization, then it will assign different type of resources on single product, and hence the organization will become project based organization. So, what is happening here? We will say that even though the organization is not able to take full use of resources, that is sometimes the resources are free, sometimes they are utilized. So, there is more cost associated with such type of structure, but the priority of such organization is not savings in cost, the priority is a very good quality of product. Okay. Then such type of organization structure is suitable. Okay. So, ultimately we can say that yes, in IT sector the satisfaction of client is of utmost important. So, even though they are overpaying, or we can say there is idle time of certain engineers, it is not priority, the priority is satisfaction of client. Again we can say in electronics equipment sector, the mobile companies, the main focus is the quality of the end product, and hence they can spend more money on the resources. Okay. Even though the resources are not fully utilized, even then they are costing, they are paying more because the end quality is more important. Okay. So, now we have completed both the functional based organization, that is traditional organization, and also project based organization. Since we have understood in detail the structure, now we can easily understood the third type of organization, which is matrix organization. Now, what will be matrix organization? Since there are only two parameters, organization can be classified structure on either on the basis of function or on the basis of project. So, we can say that matrix is not a separate type, matrix is just a mix of project based and function based structure. Okay. So, the next topic will be third type of structure, matrix structure. The third type of organizational structure is matrix structure. We have already discussed that matrix structure is a combination or let us say matrix of project based structure and function based structure. Okay. So, we can say that if it is a combination of both, then it will have advantages of both. So, we can say that matrix type of structure not only focuses on each project, but it can also utilize all the resources efficiently. So, both advantages could be garnered in this type of structure, that is such type of organization can also focus on project and it can also take use of organizational resources. Now, what will be structure? So, we will again draw the structure. Here our board or CEO, here are our department. So, department 1, department 2, department 3, department 4 and so on. Each department will be headed by a functional manager. So, functional manager 1, under this there are resources, functional manager 2, under this there are function 2 resources, function 2 resources, function 2 resources. There is another department 3 which has functional manager for a particular function 3. So, there are resources for third type of function, resources for third type of function, resources for third type of function. Okay. Similarly, we can say about department 4. So, FM4 resources. Now, if I have drawn this type of structure, so is it a matrix structure? So, we will say no, it is a pure functional based structure, traditional structure. But if we want to convert into a matrix organization, and we have seen matrix organization is a combination of both. So, we will now introduce another set of departments let us say this, and on these resources we are assigning a project manager A. Similarly, another set of resources, and these resources are being assigned to project manager of project B. In similar way, there are another set of resources which are being assigned to a project manager overseeing a project C. So, if I draw such type of structure, then we can say yes, it is a matrix structure. Why? Because on the one hand, resources are being assigned, are being classified on the basis of their function only. All function 1 resources, all function 2 resources, all function 3 resources, all function 4 resources. So, functional organization. But in addition, there are different type of resources having expertise in different functions. resource having expertise in function 1, in function 2, function 3, function 4, and now they are grouped together and they are assigned to a single person who is responsible for completion of a particular project A. So now we can say that in this type of organization we are seeing aspects of project based organization and also aspects of function based organization. There is a functional manager, which is the case with functional organization, and there is also project manager, which is the case with project based organization. So if this is the structure, then we will call it as a matrix structure. Okay. Now in practical terms, if we take an example, then we will say that at the present time all the organizations, most of the organization, and we can say almost all the organizations are matrix organization. So by this we can say that at the present time there are no pure traditional organization and no pure project based organization. For example, if you as an engineer, if you are design engineer, let us say you are specialized in plumbing design, okay, or let us say HVAC design, heat, ventilation and air conditioning system. You are very thorough in thermodynamics related theoretical concepts, and also you are expertise in HVAC system. Okay, so you are a mechanical department, mechanical engineer having specialization in this. Now suppose you join a firm which is a design firm which takes different types of projects, and since you are a mechanical engineer, so when you will join the organization, the HR manager will tell you that you will join mechanical department. Since you are a HVAC engineer, so he or she will say you will join the mechanical department. So this is mechanical department, but the HR manager will also say that your senior will be this individual Mr. X, but at the same time HR manager will say that for 3 months or let us say 6 months you will work on a single type of project, on a single project, okay, and hence when you are working on this project you have to also answer this person, okay. So practically this happens. What I am saying is that if you are joining a design firm, then your ultimate senior will be a mechanical engineer, okay, having vast experience, but at the same time you will be grouped together with civil engineer, electrical engineer and other type of specialization, and your all group will be answerable to another person which is the project manager, and for the time being say 3 months or 6 months you all will be working on a single project, okay. So this, in this type of organization what we are seeing, this individual has 2 seniors, okay, this one functional manager and also this one project manager, okay. So approximately in all type of organization matrix structure is there, but further on we will classify matrix structure into 3 parts, and these parts depend on the whether functional manager have more authority or project manager have more authority, okay. So having studied matrix structure, now we will see the classification of matrix structure. It is very easy, very obvious. So the 3 classifications are weak matrix, balanced matrix and strong matrix, okay. Now there is nothing new in this 3 type of matrix structure, because all the required concepts we have already understood. The simple thing is that since this is a combination, matrix structure is a combination of function based and project based. So, in this combination, if more importance is given to functional type of structure, then it becomes a weak matrix, and if in this matrix organization more importance is given to project based structure, then this becomes a strong matrix, and if there is equal importance of both functional based and project based structure, then it is called as a balanced matrix. So, in simple terms, weak matrix is more aligned towards functional based system structure, and strong matrix is more aligned towards project based structure, and balanced matrix obviously clear in name, it is a balance of both function based and project based. Okay. So, let us discuss important characteristics of weak, balanced and strong matrix. Okay. So, in weak matrix we will say that there are no formally appointed project manager. Already we have seen that weak matrix is more oriented towards function based. So, what we are saying is that in weak matrix there are no formally appointed project managers. That is, in this structure we have drawn project manager A, project manager B, project manager C. But if this matrix is a weak matrix, then there will not be a separate office of project manager. Then what will be happening? So, we will say that in weak matrix there are no formally appointed project manager, there are only project coordinator. Okay, project coordinator, and further we will say that it is only the departmental seniors who will take the responsibility of completion of project. Again I am repeating, it is only the departmental seniors who will take the responsibility of completing the project. Full stop. I will again say that, but further these departmental seniors are more responsible towards the departmental work as compared to the project completion. So, what I have said we will try to understand with this figure only. Okay. If there is a weak matrix, so what I am saying, there is no separate office of project manager A, B, C. Okay. And if there is no separate office, then we can say that it is not a matrix structure, it is a function based structure, but such thing is not there. Even though there is no formally appointed project manager, we are saying there are project coordinators and some seniors of functional department are supervising the project. So, what we are saying is that this is a department, this is a department. Okay. So, in this department there could be some senior, or we can say the topmost senior is functional manager. So, what could happen? This functional manager is boss of this department, he is responsible for this function 1, but at the same time the organizational CEO or board will ask him to take up additional responsibility. His main responsibility is towards this department, but he or she will take additional responsibility of managing the project A. So, what we are saying, there is no formal office of project manager. For the time being, this person is also taking responsibility of project completion of this. Okay. So, you are getting the point. Now, we can say that if this individual has two responsibility, one this and another this, but since this type of responsibility is additional, so what we will say, his main responsibility remains this only. So, it is a matrix organization because this individual is playing the role of functional manager and also project manager. So, it is a matrix structure, but it is more oriented towards functional based structure. So, it is a weak matrix. Okay. Very simple. So, if we go towards balanced matrix, then what will happen? Then we will say that now there will be formally appointed project managers. Okay. It implies that there will be separate offices of project managers in this case in balanced matrix. Okay. So, there will be no additional responsibility. Okay. This functional manager is there, but there is also a separate project manager. But we should understand it is not a strong matrix, it is a balanced matrix only. So, it implies that this project manager will be somewhere part of these departments. Okay. So, what I will, if we take an example, we will say this functional manager will from now on take the responsibility of project manager. Okay. And his responsibility will be adequately or equitably distributed. It implies that for half of the time he will be responsible for this department and for half of the time he will be responsible for this project. Okay. So, in this case it implies that this individual is concerned equally about the department and about the project. So, finally, we can say that if this is the individual who is a part of functional department, who is a part of project department, he has to answer both this individual and also this individual. Okay. So, it was our balanced matrix. So, we can say that in balanced matrix there is equal authority of this individual and this individual. If it was a weak matrix, then what we can say, suppose this is the individual and this individual is working in weak matrix. So, if project manager is asking this individual to work to perform certain job and functional manager is saying this individual that do not perform that job, perform another job. So, this individual will follow his direction, his or her direction, because he is working in matrix structure. But if it is a balanced matrix, then what will happen? This individual and this, that is functional manager and project manager, have equal authority. So, in this case our resource could not decide whether to follow functional manager or whether to follow project manager, because both of them have equal responsibility. Okay. So, in this type of structure, balanced matrix, we can say coordination will more depend on functional manager and project manager coordination. Okay. So, the integration coordination of whole organization will depend on the coordination between these individuals, because these two have equal authority. Okay. Now, finally moving on to the strong matrix. So, it is very obvious in a strong matrix it is more aligned to our project. So, what will happen? Again we will say the project manager are formally appointed. Repeating, in weak matrix project manager are not formally appointed. Some seniors of departments will perform the job of project coordinator, but in strong matrix project managers are formally appointed. Okay. And further on, the authority of these project managers will be more as compared to the authority of functional managers. Okay. So, now we will say that suppose this is the individual who is part of a functional department and who is also part of project management, project department. So, if functional manager is asking this person to perform job X and this project manager is asking this individual to perform the job assigned in project B, then this person would be bound to follow his or her order and not him or her. Okay. So now we become very clear. If it is a matrix structure, then this and this both type of structure will present. But if the authority is more for functional manager, then it is a weak matrix. If authority is more with project manager, then it is a strong matrix. And if authority is equally shared between these two individuals, these two offices, then it will be a balanced matrix. Okay. So depending on the type of product an organization is making, depending on the sector in which organization is working, depending on the type, whether it is a private organization or a government organization, the matrix structure can vary. Okay. Generally we will say that if we are in a design firm, civil design firm, mechanical design firm, electrical design firm, then generally these organizations are matrix organization. You as an individual, you as an engineer will be part of a department, civil department, mechanical department, electrical department, but also you will be a part of a project only. For continuous 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, you will work on a single project, but at the same time you are answerable to functional manager. Okay. So matrix organization is a common feature in all organization nowadays. So now we have studied all the 3 different type of organizational structures: traditional, project based, matrix, and in matrix further 3 types: weak, balanced and strong. Now to sum up what we have understood, we will just draw a simple table, and through this table we will in a very brief manner summarize the concepts. So the table is like this. Here is our functional organization, and a exactly different type of system will be project based system. Okay. So here it is functional, here it is project based. Now which type of matrix is similar to functional? We will say it is weak matrix. Then comes the balanced matrix, then strong matrix, and finally project based organization. These are the 5 types of structure we have studied: functional, project and matrix have further 3 type of classification. Okay. Weak is similar to functional, strong is similar to project based. So we will plot different type of characteristics of project variables. So here there are different characters or characteristic features. First one is simple: project manager's authority. Second one, resource availability for project. third one is project manager's role. Okay. So what is meant by this feature? We are saying whether project manager has authority or not. So what we should write here in functional? So we know that in functional type of organization there is no such thing even as a project manager. So if there is no office like project manager, then obviously there will be no authority of project manager. So we will say none, okay, because there is no office. While exactly opposite, in project based organization there are no functional managers but only and only project managers. So the authority with project manager will be total, okay. So they will have total authority over the decisions. Now we can simply say that if it is a weak matrix, then there will be very low authority. In strong matrix there will be high authority, and in balanced matrix there will be medium authority. Now authority will be shared by the shared with the functional manager. Second characteristic feature is resource availability for project. Okay, we must understand this feature. Any organization has large number of resources, but what we are saying here is that whether these resources are available for project whenever there is a requirement. Now what we will say, in functional type of organization all these resources are classified on the basis of function. So all the resources will come under authority of functional manager. So if a project is going on and there is requirement for, let us say, function 1, then this functional manager 1 will have authority to decide whether these resources under him or her should be assigned to that project or not. Okay. So if this functional manager refuses to assign the resources for the project, then the availability of resources for that project will not be there. Okay. So what we can say, in this type of organization resources availability for the project is similar to the project manager's authority. Okay. So we will say resources are not directly available to the project. It is only the functional manager who will decide whether to allot the resources under him to the project or not. Exactly opposite, in a project based organization the whole department is classified on the basis of project. So the project manager will be having all type of resources required for the completion of project. Okay. So we will say same thing, total availability of project. Okay. We can recap, this was our department A, and in this department there are civil type of people, mechanical people, electrical people, HR people and so on. So what we were saying, the structure itself is like that, different functions are grouped together for performing a single type of project. So all these resources are every time available for this project. Hence we have seen that there would be inefficiency in their utilization. Okay. So we will say total, and similarly we can say in weak matrix low utilization, in balanced matrix medium, in strong matrix high. Okay. Finally we will come to the project manager's role. Okay. So in project manager's role, by role we are implying whether the role is a part-time role or whether the role is a full-time role. So obviously in functional type of organization there is no project manager. So There is nothing such as project manager's role. While in weak matrix, we have seen in weak matrix there is no functional, there is no formally appointed project manager. It is only, so only for the time being the senior of any department is working as a project manager. So what we will say, that senior is not working full time, he is only part time assuming the role of project manager. While we can say that in project based organization, obviously the whole department is appointed on the basis of project. So there is a firmly appointed project manager and he works full time. Similar we can say with strong matrix, there will be a full time project manager, because strong matrix, in a strong matrix project manager is more authority as compared to functional manager. In balanced matrix there will be a part time project manager. Okay. So we have summarized the concepts we have studied in the types of structure in this table. By reading this table, we will have overview of the concepts. We must also remember the advantage and disadvantage associated with this type of organization and this type of organization. The advantage here is that organization can take full use of the resources, while disadvantage is overall project suffers, it get delayed, the cost overrun happens, or the final quality get hampered. While in project based organization the resources are not efficiently utilized, but on the other hand the project do not suffer, the quality of project is as per the desired level, cost overrun remains minimal, time overrun remains minimal. Okay. And in between there are matrix structures. And finally we have seen that at the present time different type of organizations are matrix in one way or another. At the present time there is no absolute functional based organization and no absolute project based organization. Okay. So we have completed our different types of organization part. So here we have completed the first chapter of our project management, that is organization. Now we will take another example to study the concepts we have understood. So the example is of Indian Railway. Why Indian Railway? Because we are studying for engineering services examination and we all aspire to be a part of government, and the top priority, the top choice we fill in the UPSC form is railways. Okay. And civil engineering also top rankers go in Indian Railways, similar for mechanical, electrical. Okay. So what the concepts we have studied, we will apply this to Indian Railways, and we know that Indian Railways in itself is a organization. Okay. So a very simple example we will take. I will be drawing the organizational structure of Indian Railway. So if you go to website of Indian Railway and in about us, you will see a point regarding the organizational structure, and if you click on this then a PDF will occur, and in that PDF structure of Indian Railways is drawn. So I am drawing only that PDF. So if we draw organizational structure of Indian Railway, then it will look like this. At the topmost there will be Union Minister of Railways, and under it there could be Minister of State for Railways. Now we have to understand that these two levels are not our concern, because they form the political executive. They come and they go. Okay, so they are temporary heads. They are the head of organization. Their role is important, but they are temporary. We are concerned with the permanent structure of organization. So permanent structure implies permanent bureaucracy, the engineers that are being recruited and they work for long years. Okay, so from now on we will start with the permanent structure, and you all have heard that the supreme body in railway is railway board. Okay, so there is a railway board, and if I draw railway board structure, then it will look like this. As UPSC is headed by a board, okay, there are various members in UPSC. Similarly, railway is headed by a board and there are various members. So there is member, engineering, there is member, staff, there is a member, mechanical, a member, electrical, member, traffic. Okay, and there is also a finance commissioner. Okay, and finally there is chairman. This is the actual structure of Indian Railways Board. So if I have drawn this structure, then you can very easily answer my question. My question is that whether the Indian Railways is a project based organization or it is a function based organization. I am talking about its structure, whether its structure is function based or it is a project based. So the obvious answer is that this board is the supreme body. So all the members are superior, most senior in their sphere. So we will say member staff, mechanical, electrical, traffic, commissioner, engineering. So what we are observing here, we are observing is that engineering, staff, mechanical, electrical, traffic, finance, all these are separate functions. Hence we can say that each department has been classified on the basis of unique type of function. So we can say that the board of Indian Railway is a functional based structure. Okay, the word here is only engineering, but since in railway the most important type of function is civil function, so civil word is not there. So member engineering nothing but implying civil engineering function. So civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, traffic, finance, staff, that is HR. There are different type of function. So we can say railway board has a functional based structure. Now further on, if I draw other different aspects of the organizational structure, then what I observe is like this. Further in the PDF it is written that there are different railway zones. Okay, so there could be Northern Railway, and there is Zonal Commissioner of Northern Railway. There is Western Railway, its Zonal Commissioner, Southern Railway, its zonal commissioner, Eastern Railway, zonal commissioner, North East Railway, zonal commissioner, Central Railway, zonal commissioner, and many more are there. There are West Central, East Central, and total there are 16 railway zones. Okay. So when we find this things in the organizational structure, then what you can tell about the organizational structure at this level. Now what we are observing that Northern Railway implies a part of railway is solely focused on northern region of India. One part is solely focused on western region and so on. Now in Northern Railway, this zonal commissioner which is heading, he is having authority on all types of resources. That is, this zonal commissioner will be having authority on civil engineers, mechanical engineers, HR managers, electrical engineers, finance personnel and so on. Okay. So if we see this type of structure, then we can say at this level it is a project based organization, and the project is nothing but zone or region. So one project, that is one region, northern region project, western region project, central region project and so on. Okay. So here we are observing project based organization, and here it was a function based organization. And obviously these two things are not separate, they are common, integrated together. So what we can say that overall this type of organization is nothing but a matrix organization. Okay. Again, by taking example, suppose you join Indian Railway as a civil engineer, and if you are civil engineer, you can say that your ultimate boss, your ultimate senior is member engineering, but at the same time you will be assigned a specific region. You will be working either in northern, western, central or eastern railway and so on. So if you are assigned to, for example, western railway, then your another senior will be zonal commissioner of western railway. So what we are observing here, you have two bosses, one is member engineering and also one is zonal commissioner western railway. So we can say this individual is working as a project manager, this individual is a functional manager, and overall we can say it is a matrix organization. Okay. And finally, if we want to just have an idea whether it is a weak matrix, strong matrix or balanced matrix, so we will say it depends practically. Okay. In theoretical term, these members are senior, but these zonal commissioner could also be very powerful within their zones, because politics is also very important part. Trade union is there as in factories, again there is employee union in Indian Railways. So if employee union is very strong, and if any zonal commissioner has a strong support of union, then in practical term zonal commissioner could also be very powerful as compared to member engineering. Okay. So it depends on the practical scenario. Okay. So finally we have taken the example and we have understood that any organization at the present time is more or less a matrix organization. It has some features of project based and it also has some features of function based. The crux is that no organizational structure is good or bad, only suitable or unsuitable. So finally we have concluded the first topic of project management, that is organization.